Brant with Pedal Pros. Welcome back for another Zwift race recap. This week we're talking about the Puncheur Series Innsbruck race, which was last night. It's every Thursday night at 7:30. This is the penultimate race. 5th in the series, 4th for me, 4th for our team. Didn't go real well for me. I just kind of blew up at the start. I'm not sure if that was the result of something exterior, fitness, coming back from a cold, a week off the bike, or if I just went too hard too early. I don't know. I'll have to look at it with my coach. But still ended up making some good moves in the race. The team did well overall. So let's go ahead and jump right into the recap. So let's hop on VeloVeer and see what this course looks like. You can see that it's got a little elevation. We start right here in the chute, kind of run around 1 and 2% gradients throughout. There's a little constant 2% climb over the canal here. And then this down here is the one big climb that really is the selection on all 4 laps. And after that climb, it's kind of a downhill to the sprint. And then you can see that the finish, back to the finish there, is also pretty straight. As usual, the start of the race comes out fast. People put down power right away. And we're out the gate moving pretty quickly. I know that this is going to happen. I'm used to it at this point. I put out the effort to make sure I stay with the lead group. But my heart rate climbs up pretty fast, pretty early. I'm sitting in the 170s. As we roll onto the course, 1 second now after we're out of the neutral area, I'm still at 400 watts and we're at 173 beats per minute officially when this race starts, which is crazy pants. So as we turn right out of this roundabout, there's not really anything that happens here, but this is that 2% gradual climb coming up that rolls over the canal. If you look up at the top right, you can kind of see the canal coming up, and this crosses over it. I figured later on in the race that this would be a point where people would put down some serious attacks. It may have happened in the lead group later up the road, but it certainly didn't happen when I was around, which was surprising to me. I know it's only a 2%, but it's long enough, and in the late laps when you're really starting to burn, I thought this would be a spot where people would really put in some digs and try to attack, and it just didn't happen. There's not really anything that happens here, but I just wanted to show this point. You can see it's a kind of a long, steady 2% rolling climb, and surprisingly, nothing really happened here. This is still the first lap, but here we come crossing the canal the second time on the lap, and this is the climb. You can see we're coming into it pretty fast. We're already in the mid-20s on speed, and I know that some of these guys are going to climb this really fast. It's only 100 feet of climbing, just under 100 feet. And so I thought pre-race that some guys might actually do this in a minute, maybe less. And sure enough, that happened. So I'm just, I'm going all out here. Look at my power. I was over 600. I was staying 500 for a while. My heart rate, 185. That's supposed to be my max heart rate. But oh my gosh, look at that. Here we go. 186, 187. Still in the mid 400s on power, 188. This was just an absolute assault on my heart rate. And you can see though that I am surrounded by a lot of letter A's. So I'm with the lead group, I'm with the Cat A's. There's a few B's up here too, but we get to the top and look at that. Still 11th overall with the A's. There's a little gap here. I have to put out a little bit more effort on this 9% downhill gradient than I would like. I eventually do get reconnected with that little group up the road, and success, heart rate disaster, but I stay with the lead group, which, as some of you know by now watching these videos, that's my goal every race. Stay with the lead group as long as possible, then drop off and try to maintain. So here's the second go at the climb, and you can see I'm at 180 beats a minute before we even hit this climb. The entire time after we hit it on the first lap, my heart rate just never came back down, and I never recovered. And I'm not going nearly as hard this time. You can see I don't touch off at 600 at any point. I'm not even into the 500s. I'm just in survival mode, because even sitting in throughout the mostly flat course after this climb, I just never recovered. I could not get my heart rate down, and I just felt like I could not put out any power. I don't know if I just blew myself up on the first hill, or if it was, my rest week and then catching a cold, and so I really didn't ride it all in the last week, or a combination of blowing myself up and that. I don't know, but what I can tell you is that I set every heart rate record in the book during this race, and I also simultaneously had my lowest power of any race in this series. Not a good combination. Outrageous heart rates across the board. 1 minute, 5 minute, 20 minute, hour-long heart rate records. All-time records. Not year records, all-time records. And my power was significantly lower than usual. And you can see here, after this second climb, just the second climb, I'm okay with getting dropped by the lead group, but here I'm in a bad situation. I am off the lead group, I am in heart rate hell, and I am a minute in front of the group behind me. So I'm left with the decision to try to time trial all the way to the finish for 2 laps, or to give away an entire minute by letting the group behind me catch me. Well, here's the thing. My heart rate is in such a bad spot, I don't even have to make a decision. I can't hold that group off behind me. They catch me. I let them catch me. They would have caught me anyways. I let them catch me to try and recover, and I still can't recover. Here's the 4th lap, heading into the climb. Brent, all you do is show the climbs. Well, that's where everything happened in this race. But this is the group I've been riding with. I have not been able to recover. Look at this. I'm at 183 on my heart rate before we even get to the climb at 200 watts. That's just nuts. And I decide I cannot beat these guys at the line. I'm 23rd if I finish last in this group. So hey, here we go. 500 watts. Let's shake these guys loose. Let's see if I can drop this group. It's what I did last week. I tried to attack on the last climb and lose everyone. This is a longer climb than that little roller I attacked on last week. I'm also in way worse shape physically here, and I'm trying to lose more people. These riders ahead of me are in, some of them are in the D and C category, so they're not people I'm losing. But here, look at this, my power just falls apart. I'm at 191 beats a minute there. That's just absolutely unfathomable. But they kind of pull me back. You can see the gap is 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 5 seconds. I can't hold the attack. It's a failed attack. But I do get to the top of the hill, and I am still with the group, which is good. But here they go now, okay, passing me. I think 1 or 2 more grab me at the top here and pass me. There we go. And I'm just burned. I'm just burned into the ground right now. Look at this. Can barely hold 220 watts, 200 watts. And okay, I look back, I see the time, and we shook 1, maybe 2. All I got to do is stay with these guys. And instead of fighting for 23rd, I'm fighting for 21st, 22nd, and maybe as bad as I'm hurting, maybe they're hurting worse, and we can put it on them at the end. But I just don't have it. I'm at 186 beats a minute still after the downhill, and that little kind of momentum breaker right there just strings us out. This guy puts in a dig, and I react late, and I react without much power. I'm at 250 watts, and I know I need to bridge this. We're coasting downhill here, so I'm not putting out much power. But I know that if I don't get back up to those 2 riders, I'm not catching them, and my attack blew me up. So here we go. I'm trying very hard to bridge, and I can't even... Actually, I guess I do touch 300 watts there, but that's it. I'm just fighting, holding. This is as much power as I can put out right here. And I'm trying. This is still me trying at 250 watts, 270 watts, almost 280 watts, trying to bridge back on to these 3 riders up ahead of me. And, this is the last effort. This is me trying to save the little bit of this race I can, all the way back up to 350 watts. My heart rate's still over my maximum here. And now I kind of know that they're going. And I look back and I see I've got 8 seconds on one guy and 20 seconds on another rider, 25 seconds on another rider. And so the attack failed, the bridge failed, but I did shake back 2 riders by animating that there, and I know that now, okay, I just have to hold this for 21st. This was a very painful, very lonely roll to the finish, but I did hold the group off. I did get 21st, so the attack shook out 2, improved me by 2 places. 21st overall, 7th in the Bs. Whew, glad that's done, and I hope I never see heart rate numbers like that again. Next week, Volcano After Party, last race in the series, 7:30 on Thursday. Hope to see you guys then. Thanks for watching. Let your light shine.